Hype Network presents.
On this episode of season 4, let's talk.
So so since I'm from Aklan, right, and she's from Iloilo City. So I said, oh, she was like, oh, you should meet Earl. So I was like, okay. So I traveled to Iloilo
Wow.
to meet Earl,
Hmm.
That's
and
an
then
8-hour drive.
5 hour drive,
8 hours.
Wow, we
five
got
Okay,
two
hours
fine.
we got two perspectives here. We got 8 hours coming out from
exactly.
there and then 5 hours. Okay, okay. And then hey folks, welcome back to the Rajiv Show, and I'm your host Rajiv Doreswamy. And this show aims to help reach out to those who are currently struggling in life and to remind you that life is indeed beautiful when you're inspired to make it your own. Before we get into this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to whichever platform you are using. And if you want to connect with me, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok at The Rajiv Show. Hey folks, welcome back to The Rajiv Show. And my guest today is amazing guest. These guys are phenomenal guests. When I heard their podcast, I love their energy, and I said, I need to have them on my show. And of course, I'm going to introduce them. They're all the way from Canada. As always, the Rajiv Show takes it all over the world. I haven't met people from Pacific Ocean. That's gonna coming soon. Hopefully, someone reaches out. I'm gonna introduce Anne Marie and Earl Lorraine, all the way from Canada. Hey, folks, how you guys doing?
Hi, we're
Hello.
good. We're good.
We're good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Basically, I just woke up, so back to work. So another day in the office. There's no Sunday, Monday. There's no weeks, so it's always work. I don't even know what day it is today, even though you remind me. It's the thing. So, aside from the awesome introduction that I gave, could you guys give a little bit of background about yourselves?
Sure. So I am Anne from Erl Ann Things, and I am from Canada. So I guess just a little bit of a background. So I'll just make it short. I moved to Canada when I was 17, and yeah, so I've been living here for around 12 years now. I believe 11 to 12 years. So yeah, and then my partner Earl.
So, hi guys, I'm Earl from Erl Ann Things. I moved here 2 years ago, so I'm basically fresh out of the boat.
As they call
Interesting.
it here.
That's what they call it here. I am a sped teacher, and I'm also a musician.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot to tell people I'm a nurse. That's all.
Nurse and
Yeah.
musician, and sped teacher.
Yes.
That's interesting. We're gonna unpack
Mhm.
all of that stuff. Wait, did you say sped teacher or
Mhm.
speed teacher?
Yes, sped teacher, special education.
Ooh, interesting, interesting. Uh, yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, I say interesting a lot. Before we get into the conversation, of course, if you guys haven't if you guys haven't joined yet, I have an Facebook group which is called the Interesting Club, where you guys can post anything you find interesting, music and saying. Of course, as usual, there's no other stuff, but none of the non-safe for work stuff. But aside from that, uh, I had to plug that in. I just realized I have to figure out how to plug that in. But yeah, so let's get into saying let's take a time travel and let's go back a few years ago. If you guys are classmates, you guys are classmates with me in high school. I gotta ask,
Mm-hmm.
who were you guys in high school? If you guys are classmates with me.
Okay. I'm the quiet girl.
Hmm.
Yeah, the quiet girl. Yeah, the
Introverted?
average quiet girl.
Introverted?
Yeah. Yeah, I am kind of. Yeah, I'm pretty quiet if you don't know me, but
Hmm.
yeah, I get pretty loud with the people that I'm close with. But yeah, Earl and I are complete opposites,
Mhm.
so
Hmm.
I don't know what you think.
Hmm.
What
Yeah.
do you think?
Well, if I were your classmate when in high school, I would probably be your classmate who's not always around because I get pulled up because I have to sing somewhere. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm that
Yeah.
classmate who you don't usually see in pictures because
yeah.
I'm not around.
But performance-wise, you
Yeah.
perform a lot. You mentioned.
Yeah, I perform a lot.
But are you
I would
how?
I
Hmm. Are you the competitive type performer, or you do it for the fun of it?
I compete and I do it for the fun of it.
Aside
Basically
from,
every program
hmm,
I'm there.
really? Oh, okay.
She's
Yeah.
your
That's
friend.
interesting.
Yeah, she's your friend that's always like somewhere with a
Yeah.
choir, like
Oh, with
that.
the choir.
Always gets exempted with quizzes because I have to be in a program.
Oh, so
Yeah.
music-wise, like, I assume because in high school, I remember we had like these art competitions and inter-house competitions. You guys have that kind of thing, or it was mostly choir and
Oh,
choir
we have
competitions?
competitions. We have
Oh,
competitions. Hmm.
interesting, interesting. And in the video, if you guys haven't seen the video, Earl has a ukulele in the background that looks inviting.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Daisy. That's my ukulele. That's Daisy.
that's interesting.
Oh, I
That's
named her
interesting.
Daisy. My ukulele.
It's funny you named your own babies. I miss my red thing bass guitar. I have a short story behind
Oh,
that
you.
bass guitar.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of background. I'm a second generation bass player. My dad is the first.
Mm-hmm.
And he got me this amazing Fender. I think it's Fender. No, it's an Ibanez bass. And this is a funny
Ooh,
story.
fancy.
Yeah, it's a funny story because during I think 2 or 3 years ago, I don't really remember. We had this Battle of the Bands event. I don't know if I remember sharing this story in previous recordings, but if I did, I probably
Mhm.
would remember. Uh, and during that time, we had the theme of the competition. This was actually a college event. The team of the competition was Linkin Park and Evanescence. I think it was because at that time,
Oh,
Chester
yeah.
Bennington and
Mm-hmm.
Dolores, I forgot her full name. Dolores passed away. That was that year. I don't remember that year. So they wanted to do a tribute thing. And it was funny when we joined and we played. Uh, During the practice, the guitar was doing good. The bass guitar was doing good. There was a time where I stayed over at a friend's place, and then we were traveling from there to the recording studio. And this was funny because during that
Mhm.
time, um, there's this. It was really rainy and it was really crazy. So in order for us to get to the thing, we were kind of waiting for transportation, and my soft case at that time, my soft case was actually torn on the head, so basically the sponge and everything.
Uh-oh.
So the I
Mm-hmm.
think the base
Mhm.
was exposed to the weather and the thing. Luckily, when we went into the practice session, it was fine. But here's the funny part of it: when we went into the actual gig, or the actual
Mm-hmm.
thing, the actual concert, this is true story. We had a practice session that morning, and the bass was fine for at least 30 to 40 minutes. And then
Mm-hmm.
it was luckily during the practice session, the bass died out of the blue. It was not during the concert, it was luckily not during the gig. And
Mm-hmm.
it died.
Mhm.
We replaced, because it was an active bass. What I mean by an active bass is it was you have to change the batteries. It lives
Mm-hmm.
off of
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
batteries. And then the passive guitar,
Mhm.
you just connect it to an amp and then you're fine. The
Mm-hmm.
funny thing was when we replaced the batteries, the thing died, and we had no choice, but we needed to find an alternative solution. And the funny part about that,
Mhm.
there was a bass guitar in college. I remember that was just lying there, and saying, "Can I help you?" And the funny thing is, I took that bass. I just changed the strap because I was carrying a strap. The thing didn't have a strap, and in the end of that
Mhm.
entire gig, we kind of won first place. Shockingly, we
Wow,
because
congratulations.
Oh.
I was monkeying around. So
Mhm. What did you guys play?
we played Points of Authority, and I forgot the last one. I think we played Numb by Linkin Park. We really went
Mhm.
on the whole thing. Um, Prior
Mhm.
to those that really competed against us, I really loved and admired all their performances. Especially the one
Mm-hmm.
that took our breath away
Mhm.
was the last one, which was from, because it was inter-school. We had someone performing from the teacher education at that time, and it was
Mhm.
funny. They had the whole beautiful thing. The show was really
Mm-hmm.
spectacular, and they had the flags, they had everything. It was like basically you were, at some point when you were watching it, you felt like you were in a Grand Prix. They got the flags and all in the Grand Prix. You was
Well,
like waiting for Formula One to begin at some point. It's like, I don't mean to insult them. I really enjoyed their thing. It was really entertaining and I really loved it. I hope if they're tuning in, and
Imagine. Yeah.
yeah, if they're tuning in, I hope they don't
yeah.
really think kill me.
Mhm.
So,
Well, you know what? In our college before, in our university, we
mm,
also have this battle of the bands, and usually the College of Education would always win.
mm,
So, yeah. Well, teachers are very competitive, so we have
Yeah.
to be extra about everything. We have choreography
huh,
and, the zazz, all of this.
it's pretty
Maybe
good.
that's why they have the flags.
Yeah. No, but in my regards, I think what they compensated for was, I think, uh, because in the criteria, it was very weird that they added this in the criteria, is
Mm-hmm.
that they uh, they they wanted to do a thing. We had like costumes and all that stuff. So it was
Mhm.
weird. It was weird. In the sense, it was fun, but yet it was weird. Uh, because for us, when we went in, we just went in with. Well, Lincoln Park didn't wear any costume, so we went in jeans,
Mm-hmm.
t-shirt, and
Yeah.
I remember we were
Mhm.
laughing about it. Is like, you got 10, I think, was it 30%, or I don't remember the criteria, but I think there was 10% or 30% in costumes. So we had no idea. I remember because our lineup, we had drummer, I was the bass player, we had the rhythm guitarist, and we had a DJ, and we had a vocalist. I think it was five of us. And I remember the
Mhm.
DJ was laughing. What? You got criteria? I mean, come on. What?
Mhm.
Because we had no choice. We didn't know what to do, and we
Maybe they
were
were
laughing.
expecting you guys to wear Linkin Park. Like, I mean, like actually be Linkin Park.
Yeah.
No, in our defense, it was like we didn't know what the criteria point was, because the funny
Mhm.
part about that was, if you think about Linkin Park, what does Linkin Park wear? They just wear a t-shirt, thing, and
Yeah, jeans.
jeans and
Yeah.
all that stuff. They don't really have much.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Mm-hmm.
were we were wondering, what, huh? Huh? And uh lucky, luckily enough, these guys, they had everything fabulous. The guitars were fabulous, and the flags, like I said, it was Grand Prix. I don't know. I don't know, it was weird to open the
Mhm.
entire conversation with that, but yeah. that was uh that was interesting in itself. It was an amazing
Mm-hmm.
experience. And after that, coming forward into the year, I haven't touched my bass in a long time. I mean, she died. It was funny. I think she felt the anger and frustration. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
said you had that connection, and you've named your instrument. I think,
Yeah.
it's it has you have that kind of connection to the instrument. I think during that time, I told a lot of people, folks, after this probably my last gig, and I think she felt it, and that's when she gave up. And I don't know if it was 3 or 4 years ago. I haven't touched the bass
Mhm.
ever since. I don't even remember playing bass anymore. So that was
Mhm.
that was an experience, and yeah, I just wanted to
Maybe
share
this is
that.
your sign to play again.
Yeah, it's your sign to play again.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The internals, I think, is already been busted. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the internals or the strings or the pick guard. I'm just wondering what was the issue, and yeah. But moving on, I'm getting emotional
Yeah.
thinking of my red bass guitar.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
my
it is sad. It is sad.
Speaking of relationships with guitars, I want to talk about your relationships with that ukulele over there that looks inviting.
Oh, I got that for my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I named it Daisy.
Mm-hmm.
I named her Daisy. Well, I usually play with her. Oh. I usually jam with my ukulele every weekend. I try to like
that
learn a new
that's not
song
gonna
every
be
weekend.
edited.
Yeah. I heard it the moment I said it. So
That's a quick save. That was a quick save.
yeah. So yeah, that's me and Daisy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How
I used
about
to have
you?
a guitar. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah. You.
Mm-hmm.
How about
Oh
you,
yeah.
Anne? I'm sure you sing.
Yeah, I do play the guitar well before, and it's also been a while since I touched one.
Yeah.
So that's all. Wait.
Wow.
Wait.
What an opening! Now you guys are making me cry because you guys are good.
You know
Yeah.
what? Did I strung it or so? Yeah. So yeah, cause the last guitar I had was like last year I think, and I
Mm,
moved, so
mm.
I was selling all of my stuff, so
Ah.
I sold the guitar. So yeah, I couldn't bring it in the flight, so there I had no
Oh,
choice but to
okay.
sell it. So yeah, but I do play the guitar,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think that's the only instrument that I play. Well, I play a little
You
bit of
can play a
piano.
ukulele.
Yeah, I can play the ukulele, but I'm not good.
Mm.
So
The
that's
funny
about
thing
it.
about that, the saving grace about that was, it's lucky you never named your guitar, or else that would have been a little bit awkward.
Oh yeah, yeah. I ne- I ne- yeah, I never name my instruments.
So that it'll be easy. Earl, you got a life lesson there just now. For the next instrument,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call it it.
Well, oh yeah. Well, my bandmates, I got that idea of naming an instrument because my bandmates, they have names for all their instruments. So
Yeah,
I
Mm-hmm.
figured, oh, I'm gonna name the instrument too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what drums if you're planning to take up drums. I wonder what you're gonna name it. Uh, and
Mm.
is it gonna be masculine, feminine? It's gonna be interesting.
Probably masculine. Yeah.
Probably Margot.
What?
Margot.
Okay.
Because
And now you
it
just
sounds
open a
cool and
box.
astig.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna bang Margot for a bit or something like that.
I wonder how you're gonna open the conversation there, though. Did you hear? I hit
Yeah,
Margot just a few
let's
minutes
not
ago.
get a drum.
That felt like domestic abuse at some point, but yeah. Guys, I
Yeah.
hit Margot 5 minutes ago. You guys, I
Yeah.
killed Margot. We killed Margot. It was
I
crazy. It was crazy.
Mm.
and it slaps.
It slaps. It slaps.
And
It crashes. You know, it crashes. It kicked pretty
we really
well.
hit it. We hit it.
Opening this conversation with music, never knew it would actually lead to domestic abuse.
Right?
Because in the bass, I never said I slap her a lot, but yeah, that also sounds weird in my head. Lucky I named her color so that it's at least easy to distinct. Or else it'd be like
Yeah.
if I named her Margaret or anything like that, that would have been that would have been
Margaret
weird.
died on me.
Yeah, Margaret died on me and she rusted on me, but I slapped her well. Um, she
It was a good run. It was a good run.
That's because you made her wet from the rain.
Stop it!
Okay, I'll stop.
Okay, okay.
okay. Oh man, I love talking to you
stop.
guys. I love your energy. God Lord, you guys are making me cry.
Oh my
Oh, and
goodness.
I'll end it there.
Man, oh man, freaking hell, that's like, oh my gosh. I don't know how to follow up with that. It's like that's like comedy gold right there. Man, that's insane. That's insane. Just trying to wipe the sweat and the tears off of my face. It's like I ran a marathon or something. My gosh.
It's just the Philippine weather.
Yeah. I hope it is. Yeah. Interesting transition into music. Before we move on, we are not endorsing domestic
Mhm.
abuse. We are just talking about musical instruments that sound like when we're gonna play them, it looks like we're gonna abuse them. It's not. Oh my god, I don't even know how to
Playing
follow up.
them.
Seriously, I don't even know what question to follow up with that. It's like, man. Before we wow, I'm trying to think of something to actually connect the conversation. It's very hard, let's go back to Earl and the experience. Take us back to a story. Could you give us a story, an inspirational story on how you got into the choir and the music scene back in high school or even in
Mhm.
childhood? And if you have some interesting stories that are not domestic abuse connected.
I'll try.
Let's go with Earl first.
Well, okay. I started singing when I was 4,
Wow.
and since then I've started singing since I was 4. I competed since I was 4, and then I got into choir when I was still in elementary. Basically, I spent my life singing and joining competitions representing my school. In high school, oh, the funny thing is that I have a very, very bad stage fright. So whenever I go, yeah, I have a very, very bad stage fright. So whenever I go on stage, I would like cry. I would cry while singing, and my mother would be like, she's like big eyes and everything.
Yeah.
I will like kurot you if you don't sing.
Uh,
So I have no choice but to sing. So while singing on stage, I'm crying. So yeah, so and like I was, it was bad. It was terrible. Like before they would get me into singing, before they would
Yeah.
get me into joining a contest, I would cry and cry and cry and cry because I don't want to get on stage because I get
Really?
too scared. But I don't have a choice. I remember when I was in prep, when I was in prep, it was my first competition. I was 4 years old and I sang On the Wings of Love. And in the middle of
Oh.
my song, I cried. And all of the kids who followed me cried. And I won the contest.
Hey, in a way, that's actually
So-
good. At least you're selling. It's like
Yeah.
selling that thing. It's like the performance in itself. Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, she
interesting.
sold it.
I sold it. Yeah, and I
That's interesting.
overcame my
Hmm.
yeah. So usually I would just I like group singing because I didn't have to be alone, so I joined the
Hmm.
choir. I
Okay,
overcame
makes
my
sense.
stage fright when yeah, I overcame my stage fright when I was in high school because I had a very, very good teacher. She
Huh?
believed in my talent and also my bandmates.
Huh?
Shout out to my bandmates out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they believed in me. Like they knew I was stiff, I was awkward on stage, but they
Hmm.
believed in my talent and they didn't really replace me. That I'm still their vocalist until now. So
Hmm.
yeah, like I basically sang my way through college too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Basically, I'm like, yeah. All my life is all about singing, music,
Yeah.
and performing. Yeah,
Interesting. Interesting.
yeah. So
And
that's me.
You can check out. Yes.
Also, if you happen to, also if you're interested to listen to my band, We're the Pretzels, you can find our album on Spotify, iTunes, and Teaser. Yeah, it's
awesome.
called Apogee. Yeah.
I was gonna say
Awesome.
that, but yes. Yes.
And you're next. What-
Yes.
Take us back in a non-domestic way.
Where? Music? I don't have a background in music.
No,
You can
no
talk about
music.
your art pala.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Oh, something else. Oh, my
Yeah.
art. Well, maybe I can talk about both. Well, ever since I was young, I sang, but I'm not like good like Earl.
Huh.
But in a way that every Christmas, because my we were part of this Rotary Club thingy. I don't what kind of a club that is in the Philippines.
Rotary
You know,
Rotary
like
Club.
the
Club.
Song.
Rotary
Yeah.
Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my family was a part of that, and every Christmas,
Huh.
all the kids would sing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so from there I keep on singing, but for some reason, for those years of singing, my voice did not improve at all. Yeah, I get yeah, yeah. So yeah, like I took voice lessons back in the Philippines when I was like, I think around high school. That didn't really work.
Hmm.
So I guess singing is just not for me. But then I have another passion for art, and
Ooh.
yeah, like I've been doing digital art too. And I think it's just a hobby, you
Hmm.
know. So
But
yeah,
what's your
nothing
style?
much.
What's your style technique digital wise? Is it 3D or
Well,
what?
I'm just I'm just starting with my digital art journey with no with the iPad with the
Hmm.
Procreate, but I'm still new to that. But I'm very very used to using
Hmm.
acrylic paint. That's my go-to medium.
Themes. What are your
Yeah.
themes? Like what's the themes and inspiration?
Nothing really. I just like painting landscape because I had like visual art classes back in high school here in Canada and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not really one of those people who join contests. Well, interesting enough, when I was in elementary in the Philippines,
Hmm.
I joined one art contest. I
Hmm.
lost and I quit. I'm that type of person. If I
Uh,
lose, I'm gone. I'm
uh,
jumping somewhere else.
at least you're not
So,
crying.
oh yeah, yeah. I never cry when I lose. Yeah. So yeah, like yeah, I like painting landscape, and I've been trying to improve my portraits too as well.
there
Yeah,
any
I've been
deviant
doing
art link and all that stuff? Is there anything
no,
social
no,
You
media
have
no.
your
stuff
art Instagram.
or
I do
that?
have my art Instagram, but it's just like most
Oh
of my
yeah, I
art
saw
there is
that.
just my practice drawings on the freaking iPad.
Oh, that's
But like,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
I know deviant art. I
Yeah.
don't have deviant art, but I do know what it is. But I never started an account with
It's
them.
pretty cool,
So
pretty cool.
yeah.
I think I saw that. I was Instagram surfing, if that is
Mm.
the word. I saw that. It's
Oh
pretty
really?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you should add
Thanks.
that in the social media plugs
Yeah.
later. And
Yeah. Yeah. I will.
art and music. Oh wow, you guys are basically home close to home advantage here because you guys I'm sure if you guys have heard my story, I'm both an artist
Mhm.
musician, and if you've heard my
Mhm.
story, of course, in the previous seasons where I talk about
Mhm.
uh, my life experiences and my passion for singing, the lost years and earlier also than the lost years, there's a lot of stuff that pretty cool that I've done. And if
Mhm.
if I were to enunciate all of them, probably would have to create another season. But yeah, you guys tune in and tune in to sing, tune into those previous episodes. So yeah, let's get into these things that you've unboxed. Nurse, sped teaching.
Mhm.
But before that,
Mhm.
12 years and 2 years. Let's start with the one that has more numbers in the bag. And 12 years. Wow.
I was actually counting it earlier. It's actually just 9, 8
Nine.
or 9.
Okay.
I miscalculated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, you still have the highest number of years on the record.
Mhm.
Earl, I'm gonna get into you. I'm gonna get into your storyline later on. Take us to the story on how, if I was to say it in Tagalog with a Canadian accent, paano ka napadpad dyan?
Like, eto kasi 'yon. Eto kasi yung story ko. No, kidding aside.
Yeah.
Kidding aside. Kasi ano, magta-Tagalog ba ako or
Sure, Taglish,
maybe
Taglish.
English na lang?
Yeah, Canadian pa kung
Yeah.
gusto mo, with a Canadian accent.
Sige, para mas madali,
Tell us about you.
Yeah.
So the story was so my sister is a nurse here in Canada for like more than half of her life probably.
Mm.
And she petitioned my parents, and since that time I was the only minor.
Mm.
So parang nadamay na lang akong pumunta dito.
Mm.
So that's the story. Basically, after I finished high school in the Philippines, and then I was there for like one semester of college. I actually took
Oh.
accounting there.
Mm.
And then after that one semester, we went here. I was 17 years old that time, and I
Mm.
had to go back to high school.
Oh.
So basically, I went back to grade 11 here, and I got to experience the Western high school. And after 2 years, so you graduate when you're grade 12, and
Mm.
yeah, I went to university, finished my nursing degree, and now I'm here.
And
Yeah.
is it the same accounting or
Oh, nursing. I took nursing. Yeah.
so you
I
switched
took
from
accounting in the
accounting?
Philippines. Yeah, that
Ah.
was just something that, because my dad gave me the choice to like, you want to just stay at home for like
Mm.
one semester, or do you want to go to school?
Do something with your life.
So,
Okay.
yeah, do something with my life basically. So, why not? I just took accounting.
Huh.
So, and I left anyway, so that didn't really matter.
Huh.
That didn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, it's interesting to see the difference, like high school in the Philippines, high school here, the
Mm.
type of people that you hang out
Mm.
with and stuff.
What were your expectations when you were? I'm sure when you were in the plane, you envisioned my
Oh
high
yeah.
school is gonna be like. I'm sure you've seen those high school movies in America where I wish I get my own locker
Yeah.
room and all this stuff. I'm sure you had those kind of moments.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Like um actually it's not like that. You know how in movies high school settings are like there's a lot of bullies,
Yeah.
mean girls, cliques, and
Yeah.
everything like that. It's not like that at all.
It was
I'm
the
not sure
expectation.
I'm not sure about America. I'm not sure about America because in
Uh,
the movies they show
uh,
American high
yeah.
school, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, in Canada, yeah, well, you do get lockers and stuff like that, but it's not
No.
like the movies.
Uh,
No, it's not. Yeah,
that's fun. That's fun.
yeah.
That's interesting. And then so far with the 9 years in the bag, like what's the pivotal
Mm-hmm.
moments? I'm sure you've had those pivotal moments of identity crisis when you joined. It's like, am I
Oh yeah.
Canadian? Am I Filipino? Ano ba to?
Oh yeah.
It sounded like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
ano ba to moments, you know?
That's ac-
It sounds like
that's actually funny because I'll have that problem soon because
uh,
I'm already supposed to be like a Canadian citizen, but I haven't really gone about
uh,
doing that
yeah.
because I don't know.
Hmm.
But yeah, like so I really had I have to pick if I want to stay as Filipino or do I
Pwede rin
change
naman, di
into
ba, ang
Canadian.
dual
Yeah, dual
citizenship?
citizenship.
Yeah, but I think you have to pay more or like
Ah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. There are pros and cons to it, but
Hmm.
I think it's a hard thing to have. So it's easier if you just pick one. But the thing about Canadian citizenship though is like if you want to stay in the Philippines longer, I think I'm not sure if you're allowed or you have to pay
Hmm.
more. I'm not sure. And there's also like more pros I guess if you're Canadian.
Hmm.
You could basically travel everywhere.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you have a
Hmm.
very strong passport basically.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, interesting. Before we get into Earl's thing, we storytelling. I have a feeling this is gonna be an extensive story. We're
Mm.
gonna cut this short, and then we're gonna come back after these few short messages. Do you want to get great deals? Go to Pipe Marketplace. Visit pipenetwork.co/marketplace and use the promo code TRS to get exclusive discounts. Chat with them now. Basta Podcast, Pipe yan.
For the latest news sa pop culture at social media bardagulan, samahan niyo kami. Ako si Marga.
Ako naman si Bullet sa pinakamasayang comedy current affairs podcast sa balat ng Spotify, Apple Podcast at Google Podcasts.
Mad in Manila.
Oh,
O, dalawang chismosa na lang, lalarga na!
Ay, manong kami!
Hey folks, welcome back to the Rajiv Show. Internationally national guest from the podcast Erl Ann Things. These guys are funny. If you guys haven't heard the first half, seriously, what the hell is wrong with you? Go listen to the first half. It is so hilarious. It's got me crying. I don't know how I'm gonna edit that, but yes. Uh, before the ad break, we were talking about Anne's experience, a 9 years experience that she had when she transitioned from Philippines to Canada, or did I say it right? Canada. And now we're gonna talk.
Canada.
We're gonna talk to Erl and her experience 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
What's the story there? What's the background? Give us a backstory on how you ended up there. How you ended up after 2 years.
Oh, well, I was a sped teacher before in the Philippines. I teach special kids, kids with autism, Down syndrome, you know. And then I had a job offer here and I accepted it because, well, Anne is here in Canada and it would be easier for a relationship. So I went here and started working here. It was the first, I mean, it's still hard. It has been really challenging because basically I've lived my whole life in the Philippines and I had to start over again. Yeah. It's been a challenge and a good experience too.
Oh, so in the sense you had to get your you had the opportunity, but you had also the experience of studying again. You had to go back to high school. Is that the same thing?
No.
Oh,
No, I had to work.
so you had the free
I
pass.
yeah,
Ah,
I have
that
a
means
pass to work here. Yeah.
that means in the relationship wise, it'll be like, you don't know where I've been. Girl, please. I'm sure you guys had those moments. Girl, please. I've been here longer than you.
Yeah, yes,
Those
yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
At least you got away with it. 2 years. And
Mhm.
independent? You what's the story there?
Independently.
Oh
Well,
wow.
I have an aunt here. I have an aunt here. She's actually the one who helped me come here. But right now, since the COVID, I can't really visit her because you're only allowed to hang out with your immediate family. So I don't see her much. So I'm living alone.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I remember your response in one of my Instagram. I don't know what Instagram that was. What you guys are gonna do? That I think that was you. I don't know if you
Oh,
remember.
Which
I,
one?
which one?
it was I don't know if it was in my personal account or it was in the Rajiv show. No, I never asked that question in the Rajiv show. I remember asking this in a personal account. I was just experimenting with the questions to see if my Instagram
Hmm.
followers are saying. And then I think in the question I asked, "What are you guys gonna do after the pandemic ends?" And I think Earl
Oh
responded,
yeah.
"Yeah,
I
now you
remember.
remember.
It was
Yeah,
me. It was me. I
yeah,
remember. I remember. I remember. Yeah.
yeah." It's so cute. I was like,
Yeah.
so cute. My God. That response. That was the cutest response. The funny part about that was you were the only one who responded. It was like, I understand now what my purpose in life is. Instagram folks are just in it for the follows. But there are some genuine people. It's so
Mhm.
cute. I swear it was so cute. I don't know how to respond to that. Now I'm crying again. Good Lord, what the hell is wrong with me?
That's the Erl Ann effect.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I know.
It's
You
our
guys should.
Saz.
You guys made me cry twice today. I mean, normally girls don't make me cry. God damn.
There's always a first.
Yeah, I know. Oh, wow. Don't get me started, girl.
Let's knock on wood.
Yeah. My God. I don't even know what to say now. So, moving forward, I think we've covered sped teaching, almost the experience of it. Oh yeah, did I ask culture shock? Yeah, culture shock. Well, how was the culture shock here when you came in from 2 years ago?
Mhm.
Wait, was it 2 years that you mentioned was prior to 2020, or there was a
Yeah.
thing? 20. Okay, so
I when did I move
experience.
here? Palanga, I don't 2017 or
2017,
20
we moved here.
yeah, 2017 I moved here.
That's
Or
technically three
was it
years.
2018?
Wait,
Yeah.
2018, I think.
2018, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
2018.
2018.
Yeah. Yeah, it was hard for me. I didn't actually get homesick because
yeah.
I was like I conditioned myself that I'm gonna work in Canada. I'm gonna be away from home.
Ah,
So
okay.
I didn't really
Wow.
there was no homesickness whatsoever. But the thing that I struggled the most is not having friends.
Ah.
Because
Hmm.
yeah, not having friends, like, because the culture here is that everybody works. You don't really have time to socialize anymore unless you
Mhm.
already have your own circle.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
for me it was really hard to meet new people.
Hmm.
And also, the one of the things that I struggled the most was missing music, missing making music,
Hmm.
missing performing. it
Hmm.
was it was that's the reason that I get so upset every day,
Hmm.
because it's something that I felt like I was crippled
Hmm.
somehow,
Hmm.
because that's one thing that I really love to do, and now I won't be able to make it anymore with my band. I had to leave my band. I had to,
Oh.
it was hard. Yeah. And the
Wait.
thing is, like, before I left the Philippines, our
Huh.
band was actually doing really well. We had a lot of gigs. People were starting to know us. People
Huh.
were starting to appreciate our music. And then I had to leave. It was,
Ah.
it's difficult. Yeah.
Ouch. That's very hard.
Yeah. Oh my God. I feel so emotional.
We're gonna make you cry.
No, I'm not
The
gonna.
effect is going
Yeah,
back on
it's,
you. My
yeah.
gosh, don't get me
Yeah.
started. Like,
Oh
come
my
on,
God.
girl. Oh my God. Like, oh my God.
Let's not do this.
Yeah, and that's nice. I mean, music band, yeah, it's pretty cool. At least building up, and I'm sure they're still active. Are they still active? Are they still doing their thing in Manila or?
No.
Oh,
No. Unfortunately. Everybody had to adult. if you know what I mean.
Ah,
Everybody had to leave music to
Yeah.
do
ouch.
adulting stuff.
Sure, from
Yeah,
time to
it really
time there was
hurts.
some
Yeah.
Zoom catch ups and all that stuff. Were there some jam sessions and all
Yeah.
that stuff?
No.
At
No.
least uh
Before I left, we launched our album just so we have a
oh
project,
uh
before I leave. So yeah, and then I went home. When I went home last year, we what do you call this? We did a music video for one of our songs.
uy, that's
Yeah,
cool.
we try naman.
So at
Yeah,
least
we try
the
naman to still make music.
vibe and the
Yeah,
energy is still there. I think it's still there.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
It
good. At
is.
least
It
that
is.
maintenance of that, because in experiencing two bands, I've had the worst experience in bands. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I've always wanted to get a band together. I don't know. Yeah, my poster is here. My Groove of Thomas. Oh yeah, I haven't shared this. This is first time in this conversation. I'm gonna share one of my
Mm-hmm.
first band experience in the Philippines since my return in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I came up with a band, and how I met these guys were during college. I was auditioning for the UB band. I'm from the University of Baguio, so I wanted to be a part of the
Mm-hmm.
UB band. And at that time, of course, I had read, and I wanted to join the band, join the group, and then the outcome of it was, of course, I got rejected, but I took it in a positive sense because had not been for that, I networked with a couple of folks from different schools. I think
Mm-hmm.
with the Groove of Thomas, we had like 5 people. There was like 5 times we had band change, and we never really got any material out. Only the first gig that we had was, I think. It was the three of us. But throughout the times that we changed the lineup, it was so weird. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
when I got with my band, the first group that I got, one was from psychology. I remember the drummer was in psychology. I was from music. The lead guitarist, was from forensic science. He was a
Oh,
mega
cool.
Mm.
slash
Yeah.
fan, and Guns N' Roses. So he kind of has that slash thing when he performed.
Mhm.
But then again, we had to dissolve because
Mhm.
college got in the way. And then I said, let me
Mm-hmm.
get other people together. And then I got another drummer from music, who also went to Canada. It's funny, he also went to Canada, and uh, I had to replace my lead guitarist to another guitarist from physical therapy. So it's kind of weird. And then there was so many lineup
Yeah.
changes, and then I could not handle the vocals, so I gave it to someone from accounting. So, and so many changes. The maintenance of it itself was so hard. Um, but the
Mm-hmm.
outcome of it was, I think we disbanded. And then when I lost interest in music, in the sense that, because of that, I think I have the same sentiments for Anne, when you end up losing some certain things, you give up, and then come up with something else,
Mhm.
that. And yeah, the experience of it was, our first gig. It was nerve-wracking. We didn't practice. It was so embarrassing. We didn't practice much. And we
Mm-hmm.
were practicing in stage. And then there was a lot of it was the first gig. And then the second one, we had the second one. There's some feedback on the second one. And yeah, we never performed anymore. We never got together because the drummer
Mm-hmm.
ended up going to Canada. And
Mhm.
then the guitarist, I don't know where he is. Speaking of which, I should actually find him. And yeah, lately I just been dabbling with classical guitar. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
have Since I'm a fresh graduate of music, I kind of earned the habit of I kind of inherited the habit of playing classical guitar now. So I haven't touched
Mm-hmm.
steel strings since I don't even remember when was the
Since
last
red.
time. Since I don't even remember when the last time I actually held steel strings. I kind of got my fingers kind of got accustomed to the classical strings with the tension
Mm-hmm.
so high up, and then so yeah, yeah, I'm working on a piece. Hopefully, on this recording, folks, if you haven't noticed, I'm actually working on a piece, which is a beautiful piece. You guys should actually check this out. You might fall in love with it. It's called Home by Andrew York. I'm sure if Anne listens to this, it'd be
Mhm.
like, oh, I want to go back to Philippines now. It's a nice piece. It's a
Yeah.
Or she
really,
can come here.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Or
that's
I
also
can
there.
come over there.
Okay, that sounded weird again when we went back to that. And didn't get the filter. If she listens to this, yeah, never mind. I don't want to re-say what she said. Yeah, you check out this Andrew York. It's an amazing piece. Probably I'll be releasing an audio by the time this thing is released. Probably I release it or not. We'll see. And so yeah, that's the experience of music gig life in Philippines. It's tough. Maintenance is tough. I don't know with Earl. I don't know if you agree with me.
Well, well, I guess because I was I'm with great people.
Yeah.
Now we really vibe.
Mm.
The funny thing about my bandmates is that most of them are seamen, our bassist and our composer, the leader of our band is a seaman. Our lead guitarist is a
Mm.
seaman. Our drummer is a seaman. Um, and then our keyboardist is an engineer. And well, I am a teacher, and our rhythm guitarist is she's an accountant, I guess, or a
Wow.
marketing major.
Wow.
Yeah. And we really click because most of us are like panganay. We're the eldest. So we
Okay.
Yeah.
really click. Most of us, yeah, and we really jive. I mean, I'm really attached with these people because they're really great. They're great friends. They're great musicians, and we're on the same wavelength. You know,
Yeah.
we have the same goals
Yeah.
about our music.
You guys are pretty solid. Like
Yeah,
you never
we're really solid.
they
Like,
don't
oh,
they
we
don't
love
switch
each
people
other.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, and like what I'm very proud about my band is the discipline.
Mm.
I mean, when we rehearse, we rehearse. When we try to come up with new music, we come up with new music. And yeah, we actually have a very good reputation in Iloilo that we're polite,
Mm.
we're always early, and that
Mm.
we're not makalat on stage, and we always
That's good.
deliver. So I'm just really proud of my band. Like,
That's cool. That's
Mhm.
yeah.
cool. I had a follow-up questions when you said a large. I think it was like 30% of your members were seamen. It's like, where did you
Mhm.
find them? Manila Bay or
Yeah.
something? That's a
Oh,
curious question.
well, our bassist,
Uh,
no, Bren, hi, I'm gonna let you listen to this episode. Well, Bren, we go way back. We were classmates when we were in kinder. And
ah,
then we became schoolmates in high school, and we
hmm,
started a school band in high school. And then, we we had a band then. And
oh,
then, but then the other members, it didn't just work out. And yeah, so basically, he knew our guitarist Matty, and then Vince, our drummer,
oh,
in Seaman School or
uh,
Seafarer School.
ah.
And Vince knows, yeah, it's like, it's a connection. And then we just
So
vibe.
one
And
led to the
yeah,
other kind of thing. So
yeah,
one
one
led to.
led to the other.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Wow. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't expect that. I
And
didn't
then they're
expect
really
that.
kind people. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
They're really
Interesting.
kind people.
Man, that's cool. That's cool. At least the network, you guys developed that certain network, and that's pretty cool, man. I'm
Mm-hmm.
contemplating now. I think I agree with Anne. Is it a sign? I'm
It's
just
Yeah.
a
thinking about it.
sign.
I'm just thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
It's never
convincing.
too late to
Yeah, it's
start
never
or
too late.
try something
Mm-hmm.
new again. You
Yeah.
Yeah,
know, or
that's true. That's
bring
true. I
back
have to
things.
agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have to agree with
it's
that.
never too late. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, prior to this recording, I have like 50, and not, hopefully, by the time I'd reach probably 50 plus recordings and editing,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I don't know how that's gonna happen. But let's see, let's see.
So
Never say never.
start a band.
I
Yeah.
mean, I
Mm-hmm.
still, I
Mhm.
still do some jam sessions, and yeah, I just play some music on my own. So yeah, let's go back into Anne's story. I mean, this is for both of you actually, since we've covered almost
Mhm.
everything from sped to making me cry on my own show, to music to arts, and this thing. Um, I want to connect this back to podcasting and how this. I'm sure this connected to you guys. How did you guys
Mhm.
discover podcasting? And
So it was just this year, and
Last year. Oh yeah, this year. Sorry.
just this year, yeah, we're pretty new.
yeah,
Well, it was the beginning of the pandemic, and
oh, it's a
Earl
pandemic
and
baby.
I, even
It is.
yeah, like even though we are both in Canada, we still live in different cities.
Yeah.
So we need, like it's hard being in a long distance relationship. You have to find something to do together. You need to find new hobbies because like when you think about it, parang nakakasawa din, when you do the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it like what you said, it's a pandemic baby. Like Earl and I are opinionated, like I think we have a lot of things to share about our relationship and advocacy of the LGBTQ plus community. So yeah, that's how our podcast began, and yeah, it's like our passion project. It is something that we bond on. So you have anything else to add?
Well, one of my friends says that whenever she listens to our podcast, she feels like podcasting is like a couple's therapy for us.
Mm.
Because truly, this podcast really improved our relationship. Yeah, like since we started our podcast, we basically had lesser problems now, and that we communicate with each other well. It really improved our communication skills, and yeah, we met new people. We learned we had the experience to experience other people, which is it was very fun and revealing. Yeah.
I think one of the good things about it is like since in Canada, plus including this pandemic, you kind of feel it's like it's our way of connecting with other people, not just our own circles before. But yeah, it's like a good way to meet new people in this new normal that we have. You know what I mean? So it did really improve our relationship in a way because we are completely different people. We have different likes, we have different dislikes, and and this is something that we like.
It's like our core. Like our podcast is our core. That whenever we slip away, it's like we go back to this. It fixes us. Yeah, basically.
Interesting. Could you take me back to I don't know if you guys mentioned this or probably I missed an episode or so. Could you take me back to how you guys met, if you guys don't mind?
Oh sure. Oh,
Whoever's
you wanna tell the
perspective.
story?
I'd love to hear two perspectives of this because since you guys both you guys are my guests.
Okay, sure.
I don't know how this is alphabetical order or age order. I don't know how this is.
Oh, Anne will go first.
Okay, so basically what happened was I booked a ticket to go home to the Philippines in 2015 because I was going to see my ex. But even way before I went home, this ex of mine like had someone else. So I couldn't refund my ticket anymore. So I just went through with the trip. Just a moving on trip, So I went home, and then my friend, like my classmate since like prep or kinder or prep until high school. She's like my classmate, solid batchmate. And it turns out that she was Earl's friend in college. She's a teacher as well. Like
yeah, that was when Earl was
she was
in
like, "Oh, you should."
Philippines. Okay.
Yeah.
She was
I was
still
in the
Philippines
Philippines.
that time.
Okay.
Yeah. So since I'm from Aklan, right, and she's from Iloilo City. So I said, "Oh," she was like, "Oh, you should meet Earl." So I was like, "Okay." So I traveled to Iloilo to meet Earl.
That's
And
an
then-
8-hour drive.
5-hour drive.
8 hours.
Wow,
5 hours.
we got two perspectives here. We got 8 hours coming out. From
Exactly.
and then 5 hours. Okay. And then?
So,
Okay, go.
so yeah, I went there. It was a 5-hour drive,
Mm.
and then we went on a date,
Mm.
basically, and then it was unexpected because we also met the next day. Yeah,
Oh, so it was on the
like I
spot.
mean, like it was no, it was supposed to be just a 1 day date, like
Ah,
1 day date, and then
okay.
we were, and then when I went home to my hotel, and then she went home, we were still talking all night
Ah, okay.
until we were still talking all night, and she was like, and I was like, and in the morning when I woke up, I was like, is there a Jollibee somewhere here near my hotel, because she's familiar with the city, and she
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's okay, I'll just bring you breakfast.
Oh, it's so cute.
and,
Well, okay, this is the
and
first
then
time.
that's how we had it.
Uh,
Yeah, and then we got a second date.
Yeah.
wow. Ba't ako nakilig bigla?
Yeah.
And then perspective of Earl. I want to hear perspective of Earl. The 5 hours to 8 hours
Oh.
transition.
Iba ata yung na-meet niya nun.
Well, while she was getting over her ex, I was getting over someone too. She wasn't
Hmm.
my ex, but there was something there. Anyways, blah blah
Ah.
blah. So basically, we're getting over something, and
Ah.
then I wasn't really open about dating or
Okay.
meeting someone. But
Hmm.
then one night, my friend Gia sent a picture of Anne
So
to our
Gia,
group
Gia
chat,
is
and
your high school friend. Gia
Anne's
is
friend. Yeah, yeah.
My classmate,
Mhm.
yeah.
And she's
mutual.
my
Okay.
college barkada. So
Okay.
yeah, so she sent us. She
Hmm.
sent the picture in our group chat, and she said, "Beb, why don't you meet Anne? Get together, blah blah blah." And then I said, "Oh no, I'm not interested. I'm still, feeling connected with my heartbrokenness, etc., etc. I'm not open to dating." And then she said, "That's fine. It's just momo momo lang."
Hmm.
And I said, "What? Momo momo lang?" So that turned me off. But then when I went to work the next day, I have this friend Stella,
Hmm.
and she told me, go on a date, like meet her lang, not no strings attached, just meet her, get to know her, blah blah blah. And so I did.
Okay.
And then we met.
Hmm.
Yeah, and we had our first date.
Yeah. 5 hours
Yeah,
travel.
and then-
You missed that part. The 5 hours travel.
Oh yeah,
She says 8
well,
hours.
she said, you know what she said? She said, I'm gonna meet a friend in Iloilo, so
Ah.
I'm just gonna meet you two. Yeah, but then it turned out I
It
was
was-
the purpose
Ah.
of her going to Iloilo. It was just
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. So yeah.
Wow. This
Yeah,
is
we had dinner with her friends. And
Mhm.
yeah, the next day we met again. I remember she told me like she was you had a headache, right? And that you didn't have breakfast yet. And I said, yeah, oh, it's fine. I think I have paracetamol. I'm gonna bring you paracetamol. And don't worry about the breakfast. I can pass by Jollibee.
That's the Jollibee.
and then-
Jollibee. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. and then after that,
Uh.
we watched a movie, and then we talk. She had to go back to Canada. And
Yeah.
one thing led to another, and yeah, we've been together for 5 years.
So in a sense, since we're gonna transition into motivation, it was a perfect segue. Just so you know, the motivation for the 2 years that you've mentioned earlier, she was your motivation to go to Canada.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. mostly the opportunity,
Uh,
the income, helping my family, but mostly being with her.
wow.
Don't tell anyone.
It's out there. Too
It's
late.
out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I mean, this is the first time I've been spellbound by my own guest in saying, and the second time I actually cried in my own podcast episode. So yeah, I mean, as we're transitioning, as I mentioned earlier, we're transitioning into the motivation. What are your motivation to wake up in this pandemic prior to, of course, as we are recording this podcast, this episode? What is your motivation that keeps you alive, throughout the whole experience of this entire thing? What is the motivation? I don't know how we're gonna do this. Non-alphabetical order. Bato pick. How do you guys want this thing?
Well, I usually go first because
Okay, you go
Yeah.
first.
yeah, it's Erl Ann Things for a reason. Just kidding.
Yeah. Earl, go
Well,
ahead.
my motivation, well, I guess what keeps me going is the future. Not knowing what's everything about, not knowing my purpose. You know, what drives me is the what drives me is finding out of what everything is, what everything is for.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, and I wake up for my family too. I wake up for Anne, and of course the money. I need money to survive. But yeah, it's knowing my purpose. It's knowing my purpose. It's knowing if God really gave me this talent for something. You know what I mean? If what's the end game? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, that made me think about. Yeah.
You had to wait. It was like a delay. There was like a delay, slight delay.
I know.
I'm having an existential crisis right now.
I had to think as well. Yeah.
But inspired by what Earl said, and it's your turn.
Well, for me, like what keeps me going is like starting a life with Earl.
Aww.
So, well, and life in general.
Huh.
Like, yeah, like what Earl said, like, what's this all about? Like, what's the purpose of life?
Mhm.
Why are we here? Why did I meet her?
Oh, that
like,
went deep.
what can we learn? Yeah, what can we learn from each other?
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of things in this world that we don't know yet, and yeah, like that itself is what keeps me going.
Yeah.
And of course, like like as a nurse, it's interesting to see this pandemic actually, like being here, like seeing the this healthcare crisis happen is very interesting. Yeah, but overall, it's Earl. Yeah, it's Earl, my family, and yeah.
Any quotation like what I've noticed from Earl is her quotation is knowing my purpose in life. That's her words. What
Mhm.
is your quotation? If you have a Anne Marie quotation.
About what keeps me up, what drives me. But yeah, like I said, what drives me is my life with Earl in the future. That's it.
Yeah, it's just basically
Having
all
a
about
family.
me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about Earl basically. I don't know. I mean, I know it's not good to have like your life revolve around someone, but I think that's what we need in life, right?
Mhm.
Somebody you get to experience this life with.
Somebody to heal.
Oh, that's powerful. I don't know how to make a
Somebody to
quotation out of that, but that's
hold.
very powerful. You guys powerful stuff, man. I love the energy. I really, really been blown away. This is like an emotional roller coaster. From the beginning, we had the laughs. You
Mhm.
had the host cry for no reason, and then we came back into it. And then
MMK na yun.
I was like,
SMK,
oh my
yeah.
god, oh my god, so many awkward moments as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
I love
It's-
this
it's-
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cliche, but I think a lot of people are like me too. Like, we as a Libra, I guess, or I don't know, or just me being me, but I crave connections. I'm a very physical type of person, and I crave love. Maybe that's
Mhm.
why I cling on to
Mhm.
another person,
Mhm.
in a way. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I said,
I mean, isn't that really the purpose of people in the world? I mean, one of the purpose of the people in the world is to find love. I mean, we get,
mhm,
'di ba? When we're children, we crave the love of our
yeah.
parents. When we're in high school, we crave the love of our first crush. When we get to college, You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
when you get to adulthood, you get afraid of being alone. So your
Mm-hmm.
sole purpose is to find someone to spend your whole life with.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
yeah,
I'm gonna quote you
some
guys on
people
that.
are
That
waking
was so
up.
powerful. I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
damn. Here I am,
Yeah,
philosophically
like
wise.
yeah,
Just like,
mhm.
if you guys could see my facial expression, like, oh my god, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, really, what motivates you in the morning? It's love or finding love or, finding a reason to love your work, finding a reason to,
Yeah, that's the work. What is
yeah,
the reason? Yeah.
yeah, finding the reasons to love something that you don't really like,
Mm-hmm.
getting used to stuff. I mean, loving this pandemic or, you know what I mean,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
existential crisis mode.
But what came out of that existential crisis was a lot scarier than expected. It was like, damn.
Yeah,
The Chris Tucker
Yeah.
thing. Damn.
Mm.
yeah, I mean, maybe when basically Anne and I are already in our mid 20s. Probably when we were young, what motivates us is earning enough money to buy the stuff that we want. But
Mm,
when you get to a certain age, you
mm,
realize that it doesn't really matter.
Mhm.
What you really want is someone to come home to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. When
Like
you're
That's
and
yeah,
for
like
powerful.
us and for us that's basically our goal because we've been in a long distance relationship for 5 years, and that's what we crave, that's what we need, going home to each
Mm,
other at the end of the day.
mhm.
Yeah.
like like we were talking about earlier, like how when coming here abroad and stuff like that. I
mm,
mean, like going somewhere else or to a different country will really change you
Mhm.
in a way.
Mhm. Yeah.
mm,
Like like for like coming here to Canada, it's not easy. In the Philippines, you are like babied. Like you don't work until you're done college. Well, for most people, but like in a way that here it pushes you on the
Mhm.
edge
Mhm.
with experiences, with independence, with the pressures of adulthood here in the in the Western countries.
Mhm.
And it makes you realize that money doesn't matter, possession doesn't matter, but it's more about connections,
Mhm.
finding love and stuff like that. And it is sad, like thinking about being alone in the future. I'm not saying that I'm afraid to be alone, that's why I'm clinging to Earl. But like I think, yeah, like that's the purpose. I think like what I said and what Earl said, like in life, is finding love.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the possessions that we have, but it's something deeper than that. Yeah.
Mhm.
And this pandemic should really teach people about that,
Mhm.
you know?
Like, I felt like I was tuning into an Erl and Ann episode. It's like, oh my god. This is the third time. This is the third time in this conversation you made me cry. Wow. This is wow. This is amazing. I mean, I love the vibe. I love the energy. This is an amazing experience to have you guys on my show. Hopefully, somewhere down the line, you guys would come back to the Rajiv show. Hopefully, by the time I think of a theme. But yeah, uh, I
Yeah.
love
After your
to.
65 episodes.
Yeah, hopefully, if we get
We'll,
there,
we'll
let's
back
keep
on your
pushing more.
100.
Yeah, because yeah, I'm proud to say that in a way this pandemic's given me the opportunity. Had not been for this pandemic, one thing that I want to share is, of course, I would have never done podcasting. I think I mentioned it in one of the PPD shows episodes.
Mm.
So I would have done something else different. Probably would have done saying an upgrade on my art contest thing. Since this is audio, I don't know why I was pointing to my poster, but yeah, uh, uh, I would have never done it. But in a sense, it kind of built my character, not just the podcast, in the sense that when I created the show, it kind of gave me the sense of responsibility to maintain it, and of course the discipline to learn about new things like editing, social media managing, especially when you're doing this on your own. Even though it's a solo cast, collaboration cast, or anything of that sort, you are
Mhm.
still you're still doing a lot of stuff. You don't have, especially if you don't have a team. You're doing the editing, doing the marketing stuff. You're doing this, you're doing that. So many things. It's like is very hard, and the
Yeah.
discipline and the thing. Hopefully, yeah.
Mhm.
Hopefully, I gain my insanity, or I gain sleep
Yeah.
after editing a lot of this stuff. I promise, since I kind of made the promise that this is the super duper mega 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 project. I don't know how many megas I said, but if there's mega infinity, that's the meaning of what I meant. This is like the biggest.
Mhm.
Ever since, of course, I introduced my stories, which is, of course, season 2 and season 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mean to plug my own stuff again. It's just that I'm sharing the experience of podcasting and the
Mm-hmm.
life, the life
Mhm.
that it's given me, that discipline,
Mhm.
sleepless nights, certain times, learning about how
Yeah.
each social
Mm-hmm.
media. It basically it's also lot about game. It's like a game basically. You post this, you test this out. You see if you lose, then you try again. You try
Yeah.
again. Post it, and yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it. I love Instagram now that
Yeah.
to this prior to this recording, I recently opened a club, which is the Interesting Club, which I want to invite you guys. If you haven't, join the Interesting Club. It's on
Mhm.
Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It's TRS approved. I had to put that there. It's like the Rajiv
Oh,
show
I
with
saw
the.
that post.
I had to make sure that there's that approved, because if it's not TRS approved, it's not my thing. So yeah, because it's going under the name. It's going under a different name. And there's a small
Mm-hmm.
background to those wondering what's this Interesting Club all about. And I'm sure you guys noticed this when you guys heard my episodes and all my further collaborations. I used to say interesting a lot.
Mhm.
Many people pinpointed
Mm-hmm.
that, and I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys noticed that, and you guys made a drinking game. That would have been interesting. You guys would have been drunk.
Oh,
Yeah.
you should have told it in the beginning, so we would have been doing it.
I'm sure both of you guys would be saying Earl would have come up with some weird extra terrestrial motivation stuff. Would be like, whoa, that's some next level. Next collaboration, let's try that.
Drinking game. Yeah,
Sure.
we should. Yeah,
We're
I'm
down.
down. Yeah, we're down. We're
We're
down.
down.
Yeah. So the Interesting Club, I decided to make that happen. Everybody, let's connect. I mean, I like to connect.
Mhm.
You guys
Mm-hmm.
are from Canada, and I think I've collaborated with a lot of people. So it'd be interesting to have everybody around and just have a conversation. Just strike up a
Mm-hmm.
conversation
Mhm.
and connect. That's one of my mottos. I've said it before. I don't care who I'm connecting to. I want to build a bridge. That's probably also a part of
Mm-hmm.
my
Mhm.
legacy. And a
That's
conversation.
nice.
It starts with a conversation. That's how you guys
Mhm.
started.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've learned is, the conversation, the communication, social media wise or physical wise, that
Mm-hmm.
communication has to be consistent. So yeah, I'm babbling
Mhm.
around a lot. But
It's
yeah,
fine.
I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. It's a huge honor to have you
Thank
guys.
you.
Aw.
It's a
Thank
huge
you.
honor.
Thank you.
You
Thank you.
guys made me, and you're saying I'm subscribing to all your episodes. I don't care. Latest, since I'm
Thank you.
connected everywhere. I have to. If I'm missing out and I missed out a post from Instagram or anything, I'll follow back. I'll always follow back. Anyway, to wrap up this entire conversation before I end up babbling, of course, definitely the listeners would love to connect with you via social media. How do they find you on social media?
Oh, hi guys. We're Erl Ann from Erl Ann Things. You can tune into our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and you can visit our website www.erlinandthings.com.
And join our Discord community where
Oh
we
yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
post
We have a
randomly.
yeah. We just post random things on Discord, but you can you should join us there. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And our
Mhm.
individual accounts, you can follow and just search Anne Marie. And you can just search for me, Erl Lorraine. Yeah. And if you like to listen to the songs of our bands, please do search the Pretzels on Spotify, iTunes, and Deezer.
Yeah, the pretzels, like
The food.
the food
Yeah.
pretzels.
Wow. That's a lot of social media. Folks, I want to thank my guest from all the way from Canada, my Filipino guest from Canada. I love them. Warm hugs. I know it's pandemic. Warm hugs. I'm sending my love to you guys. And more power to your podcast and your social media stuff. I mean, more power to you
You.
guys. It's stressful,
Thank
but
you. Thank you.
at least, yeah. And I want to thank them again. And for those who are tuning in, I hope you learned a thing or two in this conversation, or at least you were entertained or you were crying like me. Then this would have been an interesting. It would have been an interesting day, interesting night. However, you're tuning in. With that in mind, I want to say thank you for tuning in and cheers. I will see you in the next episode.